What's up? I'm HUGZ. That's Sam. That's Stella. Welcome to HUGZ and Sam and Stella. It's too long to put onto YouTube. But anyway, we're jumping into The Legend of Korra, Book 1, Episode 3. Last we left off. She's a fire ferret now, y'all.
Yeah, she is, and she's really good at it. And she proved to Tenzin that she is amazing.
Okay, so and Sam and I were talking about this right beforehand because we were like, especially in new shows, like there's so many names. We're like going through everybody's names and stuff. And I always want to call Tenzin Tensai because there was this pro wrestler and his name was Master Tensai. And every time I see Tenzin, I want to say that. And I feel like I'm going to slip up and say it. People are like, you don't know his name. You don't actually care about this show.
Oh, my gosh.
But, like, just because that will happen. Yeah. But, like, it's just stuck in my head. And every time I see him, it's like, my immediate thing is I want to be like, Tensai. Just to, like, say it.
See, I don't know who that is, but...
yeah. Inconsequential to anything that you've ever watched. I'm really digging the new characters, Bolin and Mako, which I keep wanting to say Mako because that's like, isn't that like a shark? A Mako shark?
I think so, actually. I didn't think about that, though.
But I like that she's already got this little bit of a romance going on. And Bolin, like, even though we have, like, calmed ourselves down from our everybody's attached to everybody from the previous show, Bolin was very Sokka-esque.
Yeah, he did have like that same sense of humor and all that kind of stuff.
He's a socket.
Yeah, he's a socket.
He's a socket. Socket to him.
I was about to say something, but then I was like, wait, that's kind of inappropriate. I was going to say, don't stick your finger in him. But then I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I probably still should do that.
I mean...
hey, whatever. But anyway... If only he had a boomerang. That's what I was going to say. And then he could be the perfect Sakura.
He could make a boomerang out of the earth.
The perfect new Sokka. That is true. All right, but we've talked enough about this. Excited to get into more of Korra. Really enjoying the show. We are trying to make an effort not to freak out as much about everything being connected to the last show.
You're a bird, I'm a bird.
But it's really hard because we just loved the last show so much. We loved Avatar. And coming into Korra and having any connection, especially having Katara in the first episode, and the fact that, like, the main character, like, the narrator from the first part is Aang's kid, is, like, everything.
Yeah, I love it. And the statue of him. Exactly. I just, obviously Life Goes On, The Circle of Life, that song. But,
I do know that song.
But it's really sad, But, I mean, it is neat that they, like, carried on their blood.
Yeah.
Into the others.
And this will be the last thing I'll say because we'll keep stretching this if we keep talking about it. But we had talked about it before, and I wonder if Zuko is still alive.
Yeah.
We had kind of mentioned that previously because we haven't really seen anybody other than Mako is a firebender, right? But we haven't really seen anybody representing the Fire Nation thus far.
Right.
Or heard of there being a Fire Lord other than one of the girls. I don't know if it's Ikki or I don't remember the other girl's name. One of the daughters saying, like, what happened to Fire Lord Zuko's mom?
Yes.
In the very first episode. Yes. But it didn't directly reference if he was still the current Fire Lord or like, because they kind of talked about Sozin or, Ozai and stuff like that. And it's like, you wouldn't necessarily know like if they were the current or previous Fire Lord in the way that they had discussed them before. So I'm just wondering if he's still around.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
And what happened to him.
Did he marry May?
I hope so.
I hope so.
I'm glad you married May.
Oh.
I feel like right there should have been that Justin Timberlake meme of "It's gonna be May." You ever see that?
Yes.
And it's like the
I think everyone that's alive has seen that.
Hating on dead people. All right, let's jump into it. See what's going down. Korra, 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 the Explorer.
It's Korra, the Avatar.
She's also an explorer.
Fire. It's not enough
fire.
There's a cute little ferret. Is that an actual fire ferret?
Bootaka. I run this whole pro-bending shebang. Here's your winnings from the last match.
Damn.
And a personal loan for groceries.
Wow. I was like, what? Is he taking
I'm a growing boy.
And
I feel like that's a lot. I don't know that that's a lot.
A secret Avatar bank account overflowing with gold, would you? I got nothing. I've never really needed money.
Ever since we lost our parents, we've been on our own.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know.
So, anyway, how are we gonna come up with the money? Oh, I got it. I've been training Pabu to do circus tricks. Now people would pay good money to see that.
So Pabu's the new Momo, and Naga's the new Appa.
He's so cute.
Buddy, stick the landing.
Nice.
Oh, that's cute.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Just a little security work. Nothing crooked.
Oh, damn.
I mean, that's hard to turn down, you know?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
They're all doing, like, lightning bending. Okay. Which was super hard to do previously. Everybody's firebending. It was basically just Azula, and, like, to a certain extent, we saw Ozai do it at the end. You know, we didn't see him do much of it. But, like, everybody there is freaking lightning bending, right?
You also have to remember, like, their, like, education and, like, their system of, like, education was, like, extremely, strict.
Yeah.
So they may not have been allowed to even learn that or know how to do that.
Well, I'm not even necessarily getting at that. I'm just saying, like, we also saw the, like, there was no such thing as metal bending. Like, Sokka even joked, like, I'm so glad you invented that. To top, and then it's like, that seems like that's just super, like, is that like the new common thing, is like that people could just lightning, like, it just seems so common that they're all just, that's at work, they're just using that, whereas before that was like such a like massive thing that was so impressive that people could do. And the other thing too, I want to talk about it because I just thought about it when we saw them in the beginning, was that was a big question for me originally, is about lineage, like about taking on different bending, because he's a firebender and Bolin is an earthbender, but they're from like the same parents.
Right.
Because I had always wondered, like, how does it go? Like, if you have parents that are like different, if it can only be one or the other.
Right.
Because like it looks like Aang Katara, from what we've seen right now, airbending, but she can waterbend, or any of the other kids waterbenders, we don't know.
Yeah.
Because what was it? We have Boomy, and then there's one other, Kaya, named after her mom.
Yeah.
So maybe that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But those are just the things that are going through my mind from questions we had from Avatar, because we never really had a situation with siblings having different bending abilities. Normally, you would just assume it's like one specific.
Right.
But also with the war and stuff, there probably weren't a lot of like mixing between the nations. And there were no air nomads.
Yeah, it didn't really seem like there was a whole lot of mixing like going on whenever.
But it seemed like the Earth Kingdom and the Fire Nation, like, it seemed like they coincided quite a bit.
Yeah, it was more like the Fire Nation like owned the Earth. You know what I mean? It's not like, it wasn't like they were like, hey, let's, make
partners
babies
or whatever. Yeah.
You know.
But it's just cool to me that we have this now, like that we can actually see, like, oh hey, because you had questioned like, were they really brothers then or something like that? But then they said when we lost our parents, like.
Yeah, but then it could still be like they have two separate parents,
like a
and
step sibling or a half sibling thing,
or they both lost parents, and so they call each other brothers because they're all that each other have, or something like that. It might not be that they're actually blood; they just look at each other as brothers.
I mean, they do look different too, to a certain extent, not like drastically.
So I guess until we know if they had the exact same parents, I'm still skeptical on the fact that they do have the same parents.
They're like 100%.
Yeah.
Like I have two.
Because I have my best friend, I call her my sister, and as far as I'm concerned, she's my sister. But you know what I mean? It's like
I'm thinking more along the lines of like I have half siblings, like through my mom, that I have a brother and a sister, and it's like
that could be more like likely that they would have different bending.
I don't know, but I just want to bring it up because that was something that was a question I had in the original one. So. I don't know, I think that's kind of cool. But I also think it's crazy they can just do lightning, like just as a chill thing, like, oh, just...
Knowing how intense it was in the last show, like in Avatar, like, and just seeing it, it's like, oh, that's cool that they, like, it's just so, like, open now that they can do it, so... Yeah,
but the education thing is probably a good thing, too, is more people can learn what their limitations
Zuko's
are.
like, everybody needs to learn how to do this, you know, or something.
I found some work down at the power plant. Made some decent money.
Do they power the city with that electricity? That's kind of cool.
Korra, is that the handsome firebender boy that drives you crazy? Does he drive you crazy in a bad way? Or does he drive you crazy like you like him?
Hey, Mom.
Oh, what are they like?
Seen Bolin.
Nice to see you too.
Well,
Some action's about to happen again though.
Yep.
Shady Shin showed up and flashed some serious cash. Bo took off with him in his hot rod. The triple threats, the red monsoons, the Agni Kais, all the triads are muscling up for something real big.
So the
But that's what you're getting out of me.
Oh crap.
Well, and of course he's with the people that she was messing around with.
So where are we headed?
The triple threat Triad's headquarters. Hopefully Bolin's there and nothing's gone down yet.
Pabu's a friend, not a snack.
Oh, they're like, we're friends now. We touch noses. We're friends.
We better be cautious.
I like how this is cautious.
She just straight up walking in there, busting down a door.
What up? I'm the Avatar. How y'all doing?
I ain't scared of nothing. Uh-oh, there he is.
Bolin!
Those are those anti-benders, right?
Oh no.
Those are the anti-benders, right?
I don't think so. Can she use air to... Dang, y'all, this
Nice.
is
Slinging that
intense.
fire. Oh no!
Oh no! Face plant.
I was gonna say, is that like the Ty Lee thing?
Yeah. Dang, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna get them down and like...
Oh damn.
No, he's like, no!
No. Oh!
That was so cute! That was so cute!
Now, you know Ty Lee was not a bender. Again, I'm making a connection, but they're using the ability that Ty Lee used.
I think it's
and-
just like that style of fighting.
I
First
freaking
I got
love
out of town, I
that.
ran into an equalist protester over there.
That is the most adorable thing. Crawled down his nose and drank her nose and drank the water.
What? Are you some kind of criminal?
No. You don't know what you're talking about. I just ran numbers for them and stuff. We were orphans out on the street. I did what I had to do to survive and protect my little brother.
Maybe they do have the same parents.
He just said they were cut down in front of him, though.
I know,
so,
yeah.
so it did kind of make it sound like maybe.
Equality now!
Oh.
You cannot silence me, Avatar!
Yapper and listen up.
But to everybody else, does it look like she's trying to silence him and shut him down? Like, is that going to help their
Witness
cause?
the revelation tonight, 9 o'clock. What's this revelation?
Hey! What's going on over there? The Avatar's suppressing us! Help!
Let's scram.
The last thing she needs is to run into Tal's daughter again.
Bingo. That must be where it's going down.
And it's over. Because it's just... it was like a long black screen.
What are you doing?
We'll attract less attention this way.
Sure.
This is a private event.
That's
No
why.
one gets in without an invitation.
I knew a lot of people hated benders. I've never seen so many in one place.
Damn. I was shocked at first. They
I
only showed
know,
like
and
a
then they
quarter
just
of
kept,
it.
like,
Then
showing it and showing it.
Small farm. We weren't rich, and none of us were benders. This made us very easy targets for the firebender who extorted my father. One day, my father confronted this man.
Is this the little kid that Zuko saved? You remember that kid? I have goosebumps if this is that kid. You know what I'm talking about? And then they all turned against him.
And he gave him the
They
knife.
all turned against him because they found out he
Is
was
that
the
gonna be this
firebender.
kid?
That's what the story started to sound like. Because didn't his dad then confront the firebenders and they killed the dad? And
He would be like old.
he was a little kid. And this dude sounds old now.
Yeah, but think about it, like...
You gotta think, like, Katara was older than, would have been, like, years older than that dude. Than that kid. Because he was, like, a little kid.
He'd have to be, like, an older guy. This is
He
like,
sounds
he has to be
older.
an older guy. Like, older.
I'm just saying, I had goosebumps thinking about it because this is what this story sounds like.
Yeah.
But when he did, that firebender...
And that almost
took
kind of
my
looks like the
family
Blue
from
Spirit
me.
mask a little
He
bit.
took his family from him.
He took my face. As you know, the Avatar
Damn, that
has
would've been
recently
good.
arrived in
That
Republic
would have been good as
City.
hell.
And in
She's like, no, wait.
she would tell you that bending brings balance to the world. The power to take a person's bending away.
Oh no.
Permanently?
That's impossible. There's no way.
Leader of the triple threat Triad.
Oh,
One of the
damn.
most notorious criminals in
Are they gonna try to
Republic
take
City.
Bolin's power away too?
Ah, fool yourself.
I mean, I'm okay with
In the
this.
interest of fairness,
Yeah, if he's a
I
bad
will
guy.
insult the chance to fight to keep his bending.
Yeah. See, like, everybody can do lightning down now. Wow. Is it just like a technique that can, like, permanently block one of the...
A new
chakras
era
or
of
something?
equality has begun.
I have like goosebumps all over. That's so sad. Even though he's a criminal, like,
I don't feel sad for him, but, like, Bolin would make me sad.
it's just an abuse of power on his on this guy's.
I was so hoping it was gonna be that little kid. That would have been badass. She about to bend that ass. Or is she not going to bend?
Thanks. This should be enough.
That was oddly helpful. Disappear.
Oh hell.
Oh damn! He launched him.
Yes, Mako! I love you!
So he doesn't
Dang.
want to bend it, but he can use a device that has it anyway.
I mean, he just probably doesn't have the ability to do it. So.
There's no place in the world for you anymore.
Oh snap!
Oh,
I wouldn't count us out just yet.
Oh damn!
eat this man.
That would be savage,
I know.
damn. Oh.
See, he doesn't know who Naga is.
I was just about to send out a search party. Are you all right? Korra,
She's like, I seen some shit, yo.
did you find your friend?
Yes, but I was at an Equalist rally. I saw Amon.
What?
He can take people's bending away. For good. Saw him
I don't
do
think
it.
he's taking it away. I think he's just
believe
blocking it. There's probably a way that you
'Cause
can
he's like-
unblock it.
Amon has achieved
He's
this
touching
power,
that one chakra,
but this
so he's
means the
probably like
revolution is more dangerous than ever.
doing it somehow.
No bender is safe.
Because, like, if we go back to talking about what was the ultimate thing that happened in last series, was that he stripped the Fire Lord, or the Phoenix King at that point, of his bending ability.
Right.
Also the same, like, people couldn't use electricity, people couldn't use metal bending. Like, the fact that what we saw is, like, the ultimate thing that could happen to somebody, and now it's like, there's just this guy that's not even the Avatar that's able to do it. And, like, back to back to back. It's not like with Aang there's this whole thing and, like, light and, like, you know, like, fighting of the powers and all that stuff. Like, it was this massive, intense moment. And this dude's just like, you know, like, done.
Exactly.
Next.
Yeah, while it's like going down, he shuts it
Yeah.
down.
So that's why I'm thinking maybe it's just something where he's, like, creating a blockage.
Yeah.
It's like a more intense version of the chi blockage. I know I jumped to a conclusion there a little bit about that little kid, but just the way that he started telling that story in the mask and, like...
You know, the thing is whenever something's happening and you feel like, hey, you know, that could be it, it's good to, like, you call it out, because if you thought it and then you didn't, if it was, like, true, then you'd be like,
I knew that's what it was.
that,
Right.
then
Yeah, sure.
right. You know what I'm saying? So
HUGZ.
I mean, it would have made sense. I think the ages would have been a little bit.
I still think it could
pushing
be.
it.
I think it still could be.
I don't think
it still
so.
could
I
be.
mean, he might be lying. He might be taking that story and making it
Exaggerating
super dramatic. Yeah, over exaggerating it. So theories are theories. I mean, if y'all watch our Hunter reactions, my theories
Attack
right
on
now are pretty out there. So
Well, that, like, for me, a big part of this, and what I think sets us apart from a lot of other reaction channels, is, like, we do things our way. We like to talk. A lot of people are like, don't talk as much during the videos. That's what we like to do. We like to break things down. We like to tell you our theories, crazy or not crazy, because, one, it's cool later down the line if we're like, oh man, I called that in episode 1. You know, it's something that happens, like
if you watch our Attack on Titan reactions, like you were just saying, like we called some stuff.
And there
know?
were also some crazy things
some stuff
that
that was
said
not
that
false.
never would have happened or didn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
So.
But that's just how we do things. That's how I like it, because when I watch other people, that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
And also I like the idea of like starting a conversation. Like, you may have seen this, but there's a lot of people, especially that are like our OG viewers and stuff, that specifically will wait to watch a show until we're reacting to it to watch along with us.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, it's kind of like we're having a conversation with them too, which might be you.
Yeah.
Of like, hey, what do you think about this? Do you think this could be that? You know, everybody that we're talking to when we're talking to y'all right now isn't like someone who's seen this show 7 times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or at least isn't
and someone
as
that's seen the show 7
intimately-
times might be a little bit more judgmental.
Or
on our
they might be like,
theories.
that was cool. Maybe that should have been.
Or
the way
I've never
they did
looked at it like that, but that's a good thought.
I can't remember one. There was one that we had. I think it was a hunter, where I had this whole like drawn out theory for it, and it was completely wrong. But people were like, "That would have been cool." Like if they would have, that might have been an Attack on Titan one too. But like, where people were like, "That was cool. That would have been cool if they would have done it that way."
Yeah.
You know, or no, it was Full Metal. It was a reveal in Full Metal.
Yeah,
But,
there was a Full Metal one you got on the head.
yeah, but that's what I like about these, and hopefully that's what y'all enjoy as well. If you don't, that's just what we have. That's what we do. Hopefully you can get used to it.
So I don't think that he's actually permanently taking it away. I don't think that he has that ability, because we've only seen Aang do that. But I feel like maybe he's like damaging that chakra there, or doing something to it to block it. I also don't. I'm not 100% sure that guy can't bend.
We also don't. That is what I was gonna say too. Is like, I wonder if some of these dudes low key can actually bend,
Because
but
when
they're
he
just
was like, when he had
anti-benders.
those sticks with the fire, it was like, is he firebending?
Well, that
But
was
then
a
you were
different
like,
dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah, he was like one of the ninja dudes. But the main guy, I bet he can bend.
Something.
Bet he can bend. Bet money.
Well, the
he
other
can
thing
bend.
too is Aang never really said he permanently took away Ozai's power. He just said
he
took away his bending.
I don't know.
But he
that
didn't
said
say it's permanent.
I don't know that he didn't say it was permanent.
I don't remember. I don't remember Aang ever saying, "I've permanently taken away his."
He may
bending."
have, and I just don't remember.
But I'm
exact
saying
wording.
like, so maybe Aang used the same type of technique because Aang is like familiar with how power works. Because also the chakras mostly we dealt with were to get into the avatar state, but as he was activating them in the show, was activating different powers of his too, like when one like pushed his ability to fire bend and stuff like that.
Right.
So I'm like, ow, when you slide down, you grab in, please don't. So it's like he may have just used that same situation of like how one of the chakras being blocked is what stopped him from being able to access the avatar state. So I wonder if it's a similar way of like using chi blockage to shut off someone's bending, but it would be like a specific technique that is only you have to be like a master to be able to do it.
Right.
So
but I wonder what power he has that can do, and what it's doing to it.
I don't know, because he's not doing like the Ty Lee thing. Like he's not there like
he's not like pressing in hard. It doesn't seem like he's just touching it really, maybe pressing in a little. I don't know. And so it's like any of the bending that there is, like, if he's like a water bender, maybe he's like flooding the chakra with blood. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just thinking like that's an out there theory, but I'm just saying like, what could he actually be doing to the chakra to do anything to it?
I'm like, if you're flooding blood into things, like you might be killing that person. I'm just thinking.
I don't know.
But I get what you're saying though.
Yeah.
But even just the fact that we've seen like blood bending tells me that there's other abilities. So can I don't even want to get into all this, but we'll preface this with lightning is much easier to do. Everybody does it. Well, not everybody, but like much more prevalent. Metal bending, much easier, much more prevalent. Blood bending?
Yeah. See, blood bending was never really outright talked about amongst like a whole group, whereas like lightning was like in front of a lot of people. You know what I'm saying?
Metal bending
like,
wasn't really though.
That's true, but those are like things that aren't like, I don't know. Blood bending just seems so like
taboo.
Yeah, it just seems like something that wouldn't be allowed to be learned.
I'm just saying, like,
you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like alright, yeah, lightning's more of a thing now, so let's teach everybody. Alright, metal bending, Toph invented it, so let's teach everybody. Bloodbending, on the other hand, let's keep that on the down low because it's a little shady.
But I still feel like there'll be more people that can do it. Like I said, I don't want to get into a whole thing about it because like we could get into like stuff that people could do with it and like just all kinds of crazy stuff, which we can talk about later on if we see that it's something that can be done. But potentially maybe this is some type of bloodbending, but not like in a way that we understand how it works.
Yeah.
You know, because you're saying like flows of blood or something, but maybe it's like doing something like that, but just in a way that we don't understand.
Yeah. Maybe. I'm sure we'll figure it out because they're going to have to find a way to like stop him. And in order to stop him, they're going to have to understand how he does what he's doing. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So.
And if anybody can figure it out, I figure it'd be Korra.
Yeah.
Being the
and
Avatar.
Tenzin, with Tenzin too.
I'm going to get into one more thing. Because I am ready for this. It's gotta happen. Sooner rather than later. Just like we had Aang and Roku. We gotta have Korra talking to Aang.
Yeah.
It's gotta happen. And I'm so ready for it. Like, I know she's not into the spiritual side of it. Like, that's the part she struggles with. But she's starting to learn airbending pretty dang good. She's, like, flowing through. She's getting her thing on. And when she maximizes her airbending, like, that's the more spiritual side of it.
You know what?
And if she freaking... And just like Roku had the dragon... Are we going to have Aang with Appa, like, just chilling? Aww. Is Appa going to be, like, the spirit animal that, like, brings her to Aang?
I'm going to cry, y'all.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the stuff that I am ready for, and that's all I can think about now.
Also, you know how Aang's arrow lit up with his eyes and all of his lines and arrows? Yeah. I wonder what on her's going to light up. I wonder if it's going to be, like, if she's going to have, like, veins light up or, like... You know what I mean? Or is it just going to be her eyes? Or is her hair going to light up? Or
her hair might light up. That'd be kind of cool.
Like, I want to see this. What if she never goes in the spirit realm? I'll be kind of let down.
There's no way. She's the Avatar.
Yeah, but she's kind of not spiritual.
And Aang couldn't firebend. Or at least control firebending.
I just feel like if she does it, it's going to be a while. Because she's got to learn that side of herself.
That's like the biggest part of, like, being the Avatar. Is that you're, like, the spiritual connection.
Yeah. Well, she's got to, like, activate her chakras, and which also...
Not necessarily true, because Aang hadn't activated his when he was talking to Roku and stuff.
But I'm just saying, like, in
to
general,
get into Avatar
like, I think it would help. Also, though, she knows a lot, like, way more than he did at that age. But
she was more of a natural of all of the elements, yeah.
Right, but also she had been practicing since she was young, and he was in an ice cube. So.
Well, and he could kind of waterbend, like, as soon as he tried. Earthbending was harder for him. Firebending was, like...
Yeah. Well, in the Avatar state, he could waterbend. Like,
yeah. But I'm saying, like, he picked it up super fast.
Yeah.
Like, that one was... It was, like, a second nature to him.
Yeah.
Again... Even though I won't talk about all my theories and stuff because it annoys people connections, as I'm seeing people, I'm like, are they connected to this person or that person? And because I'm like, you know, I don't know. I'm just like, who is an earthbender that Zuko could have got with? And maybe Zuko's the dad of Mako and like...
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. Well, like... Is that... Because, you know, what if Toph is Bolin's mom?
Yeah.
Like, I thought about that,
but think about Toph's other kids are, like, much older. It would have to be, like, a grandkid
Toph's
or something.
Daughter, and also, the thing is, though, is Korra knew Toph's daughter, right?
No. She knew the name, Bei Fong or whatever. Was it Lin Bei Fong was the name of the daughter?
But then she would know the...
She just knew the name because
Bolin. Well, she knew Bolin because he's, like, famous, you know.
She didn't even know them at all. She only knew of them on the radio, yeah. But she had no idea who they were.
Well, yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, she knew that name from that.
Yeah, and I'm just saying as soon as she heard Bei Fong, though, I think that's what it is. She's like, you're Toph's daughter. You should be my friend because I'm the Avatar. Yeah. You know, whatever.
And also, Toph didn't get murdered, I don't think, so.
Yeah, I would hope not.
I don't think she could because she's a badass, so.
Sokka, well, we don't know if Sokka got murdered, but Sokka's not around.
Yeah, but neither's Aang. But I'm saying that mugged and killed.
Oh yeah.
Toph would not get mugged and killed.
No, she'd feel people coming.
And they'd get mugged in the head.
She'd feel people coming.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of who would be, again, I don't want to get into all this. In my mind, internally...
There's probably no connection.
In my mind, internally, I'm like, who is a firebender? Who is an earthbender? How did they have grandkids that are now these two kids? You know, like...
Yeah.
That's all I'm thinking about. I'm like, did Azula
I
have
am
kids?
seriously, genuinely wondering if Mako and Bolin are in some way...
Not related.
Not related.
Well, because also the way
he worded it was very jumping around.
They died in front of me, and then he's the only family I've left. It wasn't just like then me and my brother were alone.
Yeah,
you know, it's
and
like,
if you notice in this show, a lot of people that have that are okay, they look alike. They make sure to make Sokka and Katara look alike.
They have different hair colors. They have
different hair color, different eye color, different structure of face, different build of body, different bending.
I honestly probably wouldn't have started to doubt it until you said something about it. Yeah. But now that you've got me thinking about it, just like that's what made me think about how he worded it.
Yeah, and they may have just been brothers on the street. Like they may be
brothers on the street.
You know, hey, we're both orphans on the street. That we're all we have. We're family. We're brothers. Like people are like that. If you lose everything and you have one person, they're your family. You know what I mean?
I mean, I have friends and stuff that feel like family. That
exactly.
But also, it could be a half sibling situation. I don't look like my brother and sister.
Right. Never know, but I'm sure we'll find out because, I say never know, but I'm sure we will know one day.
Well, yeah, especially because we're already getting the origin stories now. Yeah,
but the way he tiptoeing in my Jordans around that story.
Yeah.
Bolin is not. They do not have the same mom and dad.
I'm hoping Amon is that kid. I really do. Just saying. All right, but this is already over 40 minutes. Korra is a great show. Love it. Love the connections that we already have to Avatar. And I love like the new things they've added. Like I said, the bending and all that has changed. And I think it's cool. I like it. And
definitely.
Hopefully y'all are enjoying this journey into more Korra. I'm trying to make sure Stella's not going to turn off the computer.
Korra.
She climbs up on our tower sometimes and hits the power button. So I'm like, please don't do that.
I hope you've
right
enjoyed
now.
this like almost hour-long reaction if you put two videos together. Because it started out we had to... I don't know.
Oh, yeah, because this is 41. Oh, yeah, if you're watching on Patreon, you got a long...
Yeah.
You got a long one. All right. But we'll be back. Let us know what you thought in the comment section down below. Like it if you did. Sub if you don't already. Shout out to our patrons watching the full and early reactions up on Patreon. This one, like, over an hour, maybe, potentially. We'll be back with more videos soon. We love you guys.
Bye.